Tricentennial Committee, now in session. Today's Wednesday, July 16th at 6:30 p.m. Before we get to the agenda item, Michelle.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to thank Ginny Martins and recognize her for her hard work and dedication. She's been with the committee since October 2023, and she's launched, she was part of the liftoff of this committee, and she still is continuing with her fundraising, and we really want to thank you because we really appreciate all the work you've done, Ginny.
Motion's been made to acknowledge and thank.
I second the motion.
Motion's been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. 5-0. Okay, first item on the agenda is to welcome a new committee member. Do we have a new committee member tonight? Keith Ackley. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to help out.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be fun.
fun.
Fun,
I was
yeah.
working on it this afternoon.
Today's
Okay.
secret word is fun.
All right, so last week, I think it was last week, the fire chief sent me an email and said that he had a volunteer or voluntold with Nate Kendall, who's a Southfield guy, grew up in town. So he and I met over here last Friday or something like that. We had a nice talk. So he's going to not only bring his knowledge of the past things that have been going on in Southborough for several decades, but he also has quite a bit of experience with the fire stuff. Nate, you want to say anything, buddy?
Not too much. Just chief had reached out to me looking for a liaison, and really didn't second guess it. I'm excited to be a part of it and see what happens in a couple of years and bring some nice celebration with town.
And you're on duty right now.
I'm on duty right now.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to stay all night if you want. Okay, there was some email, Vanessa, I saw relative to was it Rotary?
Yes, we were not able to schedule anyone to join you this evening, but we hope to have them at meeting within the next couple of months.
So we still have 2 vacancies.
Three.
3 vacancies.
No, sorry, two.
Not, we're at 5,
Five,
and we're supposed to be at 9.
6.
Jimmy's one of them. Jimmy's not
So
here.
three.
So 6, so 3. Yeah.
So we need 3. So we would lean on Keith to find some someone in your circle to drag in here.
Keith
Hopefully
was
it's
my
not-
recruit, I'm done.
But hopefully we can get somebody that's a little bit younger than all of us and knows how to use the computer better, network and all that stuff.
Can I ask,
Some of us do know how to use the computer, Don.
That's one. Yes, you're right.
what skills or what kind of people do we need at this point? Do we need people that have some kind of big event experience, or do we need people good at fundraising? Do we need people to run specific sections of kind of the agenda? Do we need somebody that does marketing?
Yes,
So
all of it.
Yes.
well, so let's think about when we
Well,
were
fundraising, so Ginny is still working on fundraising. And there are opportunities she's looking to add people to that fundraising committee, but that operates under the 501c3. So that somebody would talk to Ginny, but the rest, yes, definitely. It would be great to have somebody with skills of like marketing, social media, some of the other kind of stuff. In addition to just event planning.
Yeah.
and somebody that has lots of contacts because
So
we need.
Keith
also to
mentioned
get
to
people
me this
involved.
afternoon about the music,
Mhm.
musical events that he.
Music festival, yeah.
Yeah, or festival events. Vanessa and I were talking about, I thought of the word, it was, I just left my head. Flash mob,
Yes, yes.
flash mob.
Oh, flash.
So we were thinking that if, we had a couple of days' notice and we had a small, band, kind of around,
Mhm.
and we just said, okay, looks like Thursday night, it's gonna be warm and clear. We're gonna have we're gonna have a musical band playing, on the common. Or, or in the library or something, you know, and just, if 50 people show up. It's just one more event celebrating.
Yeah.
And maybe have those around town, you know, maybe have one, at Finn. You know, little ones, little events that wouldn't cost a lot of money and people could have an evening of music for an hour or two.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's lots of different things we can do. I guess what I'm going back to is you mentioned that we want to get 3 more people and maybe
Yes.
put some thought into what skill set we want to recruit, because I go find somebody and they say, well, yeah, they're gonna help out, but they're not really gonna fill a hole for us, right?
Right.
So, once again, I mean, I'm thinking, is it marketing? Is it knowing how to run an event? Is it something else? Is it,
Yes, all good.
well, which ones?
No, I think they're all important. I mean, the reason that, I kind of approached you about joining the committee is because when you filled out that survey, you specifically showed an interest in the music festival. And we didn't have enough people here
Yeah.
that portion was moving forward. So, it was because you had expressed an interest in that I
Michelle asked me to
this. Yeah.
volunteer for that.
But so I suppose we have to look at what some of the other big events are that we don't have like a person assigned to. But then there is a lot of ancillary stuff, as Vanessa knows, that
Yeah.
needs to get done and has been missing additional bandwidth.
Yeah, so my only point is, if we've got some holes we need to fill, let's try and find some people that can help out with that. And marketing, great, fundraising, great, administrative, like what do we, who's gonna pull a bunch of things? Do we need that? And then I'll go see if I can target somebody and maybe.
Yeah, I think marketing and event planning. Two
Some
skill sets
biggies.
that are most important.
I, who don't want to be on the committee, have been doing event planning for 35 years. I've done more weddings, more casinos, more parties.
You?
Yes.
Excellent.
So I'm willing to help
Mhm.
and give some direction and throw some ideas out there. Because I mean, I've run casinos for 40 years, fundraisers all over the state. But again, I've worked with all sorts of event planners and know half the people who do these things. And I live here in town, so that's why I've been sitting in to help either show people past or give ideas or suggestions or what I have done and seen, what works, what doesn't work. Yes, you need somebody in their 20s to do all this marketing stuff these days. Okay, so you need a high school senior or college people to do your marketing, especially if you want to do certain things. But this event is like a wedding. It's, years out, you gotta plan it like a wedding and hopefully go from there.
Great. Well, hey, we'll lean on your experience.
Yeah, Greg's been coming to the meetings and we're just, we're getting ready to, get to the point where we're gonna launch on some of these events and dates.
Mhm.
So, anything more on, events? We're gonna go down through the, working groups, but, otherwise we'll go to the meeting minutes of June 11th. Entertain a motion to,
I move that we approve the June 11th meeting minutes.
Second.
motions were made and seconded. Any discussion? Did you go over these again, Vanessa? Did you find anything?
Then we'll clean up.
Did you want to talk about those?
No, not since I added them to the packet.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, motion been made, seconded, any discussion? None? All in favor? Back to zero. Any minutes are approved. Status of, the working group, the community barbecue. Can we change that to?
I don't know that we really have a group on that. Thank you.
Take care.
I believe that we were going to.
Thanks a lot,
just
Nate.
Because we didn't
I'll
have
talk to you later.
enough people, Patty. Do you remember
We're
this?
talking about combining that with muster,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know that there was anybody that was leading that charge.
So do you want to, for your future agendas, do you want to sort of relabel that activity in some way?
Until somebody starts doing something, I don't see a need for reason.
Every month, yeah.
You mean, these A through E? Does anybody want to revise these? Or we're gonna keep going with these till we get more detail?
No, that's what I'm saying is take off A until something is done with it. I don't know that,
Until it's a discussion item. at that
until it's a
particular meeting.
discussion item,
Yeah.
there's no status to discuss.
Right.
Okay. Well, then same for the drone show, right?
There is no status to discuss.
There's no
Yeah, I mean,
status.
you did the research.
Yeah.
And that leads us to wait a little bit,
Yes,
but
Depending
a
on
couple of things.
fundraising.
yes.
Okay.
One thing to bring forward would be money.
Mhm.
The historic events,
Okay, things are actually moving along there, and I mean, we had a meeting, in June, so Karen, Sue, myself and Sally Waters got together. So we had some discussion, the date is set. We also chose the characters that we're going to be portraying. And we had, a lot of discussion. So I think that there's going to be between 6 and 8 characters, and we decided to just keep it at the OBG and at cemetery.
Rural cemetery.
No, not the Rural
Burnett,
Cemetery, Burnett Cemetery. So 2 people from the Burnett and maybe 5 or 6 from the OBG.
This is
So-
about a reenactment
Reenactment.
and tour of the cemeteries with historical characters.
I apologize for not
Sure.
clarifying on that. So anyway, what we've decided to do, once there's still a little bit of leeway on the characters that we're picking. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide and conquer just to get enough information about these people. Some of them, there's a lot of information about, say, Nathan Stone. And there's some other very interesting stories, but the information is limited. So the subcommittee is going to figure out, we're gonna divide them. So I think like each person is gonna get 2 or 3 people to do some research. And then, we are also getting together in August with the Framingham Historic Society. Because Patty told me that that she had gone to their reenactment and Sally Waters had gone there as well. So I contacted them and they reached out and they said, we would be happy to meet and give you our experiences. And so we're looking forward to that. So that's very exciting.
the Framingham, that was like in 2000, wasn't it?
No,
I think so. I
it was
2 years ago.
October 2023.
Oh, great, so it's
They
fresh.
do it every year to every other year. Every other year, I think it's.
Did they look at you from Southborough as like a little kid?
No, they
Compared to the
they
big city.
actually, so when I reached out, sometimes people don't get back to their emails, especially town emails. I mean, it was instantaneous, like, yes, I'm gonna be on vacation, that these are the dates that I'm available. So I put in request at work just to make sure that I was available. And we set out, so whoever wants to join us, I'll let you know the date that she confirms. And we're just gonna go to the Southborough Library. She can share her experiences and costumes, and I'm, just to find out like the characters, should they be the drama club from Algonquin or should they be townspeople that have acting experience and just get some ideas from them. So that's coming along.
So Michelle, I have a question on the date, because last month we talked about a potential date of Sunday, November 7th. Is that final
Yes.
then? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So that's moving along. And then the next thing is the oral history. So the oral history is, thanks to, whatever his name is,
Andrew,
Andrew. Thanks to Andrew, he got in contact with Terry from
Terry
South-
Underwood.
Terry Underwood.
Yeah.
From Southborough Access Media, and she has gracefully volunteered to help as well to do the filming in the studio at Trotter. And we are now collecting a list of people that have volunteered and come forward. And the one thing that I thought would be really kind of nice, instead of having just one person interview everybody that comes to these things, to have one person from the Tricentennial and Historic just to do the interviews of these people, just to sort of like get involved, just to have a team effort. So I think that Terry said sometime in August she would have some time because she has
Yeah.
somebody working with her.
Yep.
So
She's put some thought into it, so Michelle's done a lot tremendous work in moving this forward.
So I'm actually going to go to a couple of people's houses just to give them, the sort of like preliminary questions that would come along. Just so the candidates are prepared for it, and actually ask them if there's anything that we're missing, what should we really delve into, what's your first memory of Southborough, that kind of thing, so. I think that, and honestly, I also feel that this should be an ongoing thing, that it shouldn't
Absolutely.
just stop at the Tricentennials, that we should continue on. And these are going to live on YouTube. And Terry actually did this. She said that did you get the link, Patty?
Mhm.
So she did this for the veterans in
Yeah.
town, and she actually won an award.
It was so well received.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very well received, very well
I
done.
know.
So I hope that we can do that again.
Yeah. Super.
Is that all?
That's it. And I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna make a list of the current volunteers. And I'm hoping that we can get a few more and then send it out to the committee. Because there might be somebody that you want to interview, if you know somebody, it could be more intimate. And they
How
can feel
many,
more comfortable.
is there a limit on the number of people? No.
No.
Okay.
We
No.
can start to spread them out over time,
Yes.
so, but
I mean,
keep this going through, or at least in the next 2 years. you know?
yes. And I did get a list from the town on the census
Okay.
and birth dates.
Uh-huh.
So we'll start there, but the thing with the census, I feel that a lot of those people really didn't grow up here.
Yeah,
So I think that I need
Yeah.
some more help and
I've got some ideas.
so
Yeah.
send them along.
All right.
All right, send them along. I'm sure that Dawn, I actually got a response.
From Sue?
Yes, you saw that,
I
right?
saw it, yeah.
So she's away now, but people are positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a great resource with the.
Would you be willing to do this? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think that
I'd look at the questions, because,
you look at the questions before you say
Yeah.
yes.
Before I can-
if you need a story to put people to sleep. Okay, so that's historic events, house tour, did we,
The house tour isn't really meeting over the summer, but they're emailing back and forth to keep things going. Kate's got a good handle on it. And I think once they get back together in the fall and start deciding on houses, we can ask Kate to come in and kind of make a little presentation on it.
sounds good, yeah, good timing on that.
Is the idea that primarily just historic houses?
We've kind of left it up to them.
Yeah.
Kate Battles is spearheading this for me. She was the instigator of the one in 2018. And So the main coordinator, yeah. So they're trying to go for historic homes, but not only historic homes. And there's gonna be a couple of gardens as well.
Yeah.
And big, some small, but just kind of a range of the flavor of Southborough.
Yeah, cool.
But we're modeling it off of what was all put together in 2019, because that was pretty successful, and it got it and it ain't broke,
Yeah, we'll just build on it, right?
Yeah.
So,
And we already have people that want to be on it, want their houses to be on it, so that's encouraging.
Yeah. Right? So. Let's see, Ginny and I talked about this, progress of what would appear to be a lack of progress the last probably month and a half. Because, she was explaining to me, that fundraising needs to have a list of things that you're asking people to send money to, and to be interested in. And what we're saying, what the other side of that is, can't have a list of things unless you had money to pay for those. So what comes first, the money or the things? So, that's the way it was left. She's gonna march forward, of course, trying to get some donations going. And I think the parade working group is going to reach out. There's plenty of opportunities to reach out to those groups, organizations, schools that would set the date aside and maybe even participate for free, and just start pecking away at as much as we can without money.
John, what kinds of things do you need money for the parade?
A lot of these groups, it costs them money. They come from nearby towns, faraway states.
So you pay their expenses to travel in?
Yeah, so they'll give me a number, like, we got a parade group of 40 people. For that day, 20 grand. Or something nearby, like maybe Marlboro High School marching band, right? They might say it's free. We'd love to participate. So we book them.
Yeah.
And other groups maybe. And then maybe start to get people to commit to having something in the parade like float.
Right.
And we would say, well, you're gonna pay for the float, you rent the flatbed from Ted's. You decorate it.
Yeah.
So we start to get guess the easy ones, the freebies, the nearby ones, and slowly work our way up to the big boys. And like I told you guys at the last meeting, we met with the Westbrook people, their parade, and they had the 1,000-piece UMass marching band. So it's a highlight.
I bet you it was.
Oh, they're fantastic.
So as I guess the path forward, and I'll be wide open to suggestions from you guys as to how at this point in time, with no money, but a handful of very interested working group members who want to launch on this thing. If there's a different approach than what I just said.
Well, I think that we do have the 25,025, right?
Yep.
$1,000 town meeting appropriation.
30.
30,
Right, I
sorry.
was just thinking that it was
30, okay, 30.
changed to 30.
And the muster, right, is something I think where we feel reasonably confident that we could do, right? I think they asked for some money,
They
right?
did, yeah.
but it wasn't a mind-blowing number, right?
Right.
And
I don't know if they gave us.
I thought it was,
No,
I thought the
it
lowest
was-
number.
it was
they
it's in the
It
minutes.
was a fairly,
25,000.
yeah, it was a fairly high number.
That's what,
It
I
was-
got the first number. that
But they
gave us.
also said they were not opposed to trying to help fund that from their. I
Yeah,
remember
which
he
was like
saying-
So what I'm saying is, okay, trying to think of like some progress, I think that's achievable, right? The, you know, if you have a community barbecue that's goes together with that, that's something where you can maybe charge some money for tickets, right? That helps fund some of itself, but, and then, I think we've got at least one event there where, I mean, we put a date, we have two things where we've put dates on, right? The Heritage Day, the parade would be on Heritage Day, and the,
Which is now Sunday.
Yeah. so we've got enough things that we can start. And then, I mean, the drone show was an example of where you ran into, found out, you know, you don't have to plan it 2 years. And there's a huge cost difference between the drone show and just the traditional fireworks, right? So I feel like we talked about the importance of having like a calendar, right? We're starting to fill that in.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, don't we have 3 dates now? We've got November 7th.
I mean, the parade is the big one. The
How
parade is the
about that?
most expensive,
The parade.
logistically
The parade.
complicated thing. And I don't know if there's someone who is very charitable.
What is the annual Heritage Day parade? You have a parade in Heritage Day, right? What does that cost today and who funds that?
Oh, I can't imagine that it costs anything
Yeah, this,
except for police.
Yeah,
Police
exactly.
and fire. Maybe, I'm sure that there's an expense there, but I can't imagine that there's, I mean, it's Algonquin Charter.
right,
But can't you start with the parade stuff, with the little things, just to show filler, like, let's start with Ted's. You know, they got small, medium, large trucks. Can we write them in, you know, and find out what they need? Or these days you got Ken's. Can they have a flatbed and maybe give away free salad dressing? I don't know. You know, so, and then there's Beehive. They got all sorts of weird, cool trucks and carts. You know, can you pencil them in? But at least they'll get like 2 or 3 vehicles and, you know, and same with Carvana. They would love to like, hey, look at us in town. And these can be maybe free because they just want to get their name out there. You know, and that's filling in the gaps. Yes, you got to look at the big stuff, but if you can pencil in the gaps at the same time, like Ted's and the local guys, or even state police when they used to be here, I don't know what they charge because they have horses, or the National Guard. I mean, they have to do maneuvers anyhow. These are just things that you can line up now and fill in the blanks and say, okay, we got this lined up. Do we have anything cool and big, like whatever band or this and that? But I mean, the smalls are just as important as the bigs. And the sooner you get them filled in, at least you're not rushing to fill those in. You know, so yeah, you have to work at the big stuff, but hey, Ted's is a small job to talk to. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But you know, some things are gonna be easy and some things are gonna be tough. So the more smalls you can get ahead of, that's done with and out of the way.
and have we thought anything about like the theme of the parade? Like it's, you know, our 300th anniversary, do we want it to be, we want to represent military? Do you want to have all town types of things? Just, I mean, as the core
Yes.
theme of it, as opposed to just a mishmash of, you know, you could throw a whole bunch of stuff in. It could be classic cars, it could be fire engines, but you know, just like what do we want to build on? Kind of like what you're saying, like, okay, let's get the basic out there. Maybe you start with what we've traditionally done Heritage Day and say it would be nice to pull in National Guard. Maybe it's a fife and drum corps or but whatever, just kind of back to trying to get it around the 300,
And a lot of these fife and drum corps and these Minutemen do it for free. I know one guy who goes all over New England and has 3 different uniforms for, like he was a militiaman. I was like, do you get paid? He goes, no, I just do it because I like it. So I don't know much about it, but you've got those different militia guys,
Well,
You might be able to go to the Heritage Museum in Hudson and say, hey, do you guys supply something, what are your
There's
guys?
a heritage museum in
It's
Hudson?
unbelievable.
What? You've never been?
No.
It's
So this
unbelievable.
is the.
It's got all sorts of
And I
war stuff.
They do reenactments every weekend of like Battle for the Airfield
They got
and
German and American vehicles.
the American Heritage Museum in Hudson. I just went there a couple weeks ago.
You've
You've never been? They used to have field trips there.
Yeah, I've never even heard of
It's
it.
in Hudson.
Okay.
So like in the middle of nowhere, Hudson.
I'm gonna
Okay,
visit
so-
some ideas.
If there's nothing new, I think then that's the approach. A lot of good feedback on that, that we'll take.
Mhm.
And so probably try to get the parade working group together in August. And be able to start to report on commitments to that day in 2027.
Don, one more question on this here. So, from a music, perspective, was there any thought of maybe like having the music at the conclusion of the parade? Like, we have the event at St. Mark's Field. Would you want to put like a stage up there and have performers play? Or,
The music festival doesn't have to be on the day of the parade.
I'm just asking if that's a consideration to say like, this is, you have the parade and then people come back to a spot, lots of food and you have music.
The little hiccup we ran into with the parade, which Don can tell you about, is because to have it on Heritage Day that year, it's a Jewish high holiday.
Okay.
So it's been moved to Sunday, but that kind of means that we need all the festivities to be over before sundown.
Oh. Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
asking,
Also, St. Mark's Field is a logistics nightmare for parking, where the middle school is better and doesn't block traffic for, let's say, the police or fire department.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's a
There's
beautiful park.
only a few places where you can have a lot of parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think so originally seeing music festival as a standalone event, weren't we, in the
Yes.
shop?
Yes, we were just trying to think
Yeah.
of fillers, so we
Yeah.
thought that had, it would be separate because you to have more events. So
Yeah, I
that was the original thought. The other thing when you say about, when we talk about venues, I had gone to the library and I picked up a brochure at the library and it was on Chestnut Hill Farm. So Chestnut Hill Farm actually rents Chestnut Hill Farm with the barn there. And I thought that might be a nice venue for the music festival.
parking.
It's very.
But they
little
can, you can do it in the
parking.
field, I guess, Yeah.
They
Yeah, I think
also,
that-
years ago, where Ken's dressing is, the town used to rent all those fields and play soccer there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an option for something, but, but that was a beautiful, huge field, and we had 2 huge soccer fields there where my kids were going. That was, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, I
That was a
remember
long time ago.
Drew, what is the situation with Chestnut Hill Farm? The last I remember was that they had sought a liquor license and it was
Yeah.
turned down by the select board.
That's right.
So is that an overall policy that the select board is not going to approve that for them?
No, it's not overall policy.
So one point about.
Was it just because of that specific event or?
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago, and I remember it was a 3-2 vote. So now the board has changed a lot since then. So, but that was just about whether to have a liquor license. I mean, if there's a thought of, could there be some gathering there? I don't know, you'd have to approach the trustees about that.
So the thought is, and I don't know how this works, so. So if they can't get a liquor license, could people bring their own alcohol?
I
Or
know
does that,
the issue is that there's a conservation restriction that when the town funded the purchase of the land. You know, you can only have activities that are within the purview of
Scope.
that, but I don't rule it out, you know?
No,
It's
and
a
there have
thing
been events at,
There's-
at
we
that,
were,
at the
events
barn
before
from
that,
time to
though.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of there's very little parking there and it's a narrow street, but if
Sure.
it were
Little
some
parking.
sort of shuttle
Shuttle.
situation.
yeah.
Maybe that would.
But
Mhm.
I think
That would
that
be so
like,
much fun.
we're not gonna be able to plan something like this, you know, tonight. It's more just. If there's a dedicated group of people
Mhm.
who are. Can bring forward proposals to us as a committee, then I think that's the best way to handle it.
You talk about that, keep it.
Yeah. Okay. Updates on the brick.
I have kind of a. I think that it's a good marketing idea. So we really need to get this out. I mean, we've gotten it out there, but people we've not, I'm not able to close the deal. So, you know, you give out the forms and I don't know what actually comes back. But my idea is the following, and we can do this, at Heritage Park. We can have an ice cream social. We can have an ice cream social with the hope that the committee can have, to sell bricks there as well. You know, I don't think that it would cost that much money.
Mhm.
I mean, if you get big tubs of ice cream and get some ice cream cones and we can scoop out ice cream for the kids and then just have a table, you know, with information about the Tricentennial, with fundraising, you know, just to have, sort of an event.
what are you thinking?
I was thinking maybe in September.
Mhm.
You know, just when the kids are coming back to school and the weather's still pretty good. And I just thought that that would
I
be
like
kind
that
of a
idea.
Yeah.
fun
Would
idea.
that be on St. Mark's, football and lacrosse and all that is at home?
So they do
Or
that
a
on
weekend when they're
Saturday.
away?
Yeah, they do that on Saturday, but I think Sundays, you know, Sunday afternoon would be. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't,
sounds like a good idea.
I mean, the town owns the land.
Yeah.
We don't have to ask St. Mark's,
Yeah.
although for parking.
How
But
much
on a
bricks
Sunday,
again?
there'd be plenty of parking in that
Honestly,
area.
people
Yeah.
can walk from Choate Field. There's
Yeah.
plenty of parking at
Yeah.
Choate Field.
Mhm.
So I just thought that that might be a good idea, just to sort of launch this event again, to get some enthusiasm across the town.
Yes, no, I like that idea.
Okay,
All on
I
board.
mean, you
Yeah.
could ask an outside vendor to come. I don't know what the regulations are. You can ask like Trombettas to come with their
They
truck.
just did a thing with
We just
Last
did
night,
it for employee recognition a few weeks ago too, with the Yulman's ice cream truck.
Mhm.
And you know, it was not that expensive. They came for a 2 hour period. So, and they have lots
you
of
don't have
different
any idea how
options.
much
and
it was?
It was, we had to pay a flat fee, Patty. I can look that up. And then it was a fee per cone, but I think it was less than a couple of $100.
Really?
That's,
pretty
that's
cheap.
not bad. I mean, so that,
Then they take
that's
care of
an
everything.
option.
Yeah.
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 Well, the other thing is, I was thinking that a truck, I was actually thinking of a truck initially, but then I thought if, you know, with the hope that we're gonna have a lot of people, to have one truck might be limiting.
True.
Yeah, because it is like, then you have all the people standing
This is
in
kind of one of
line.
those things where you're gonna do it and try it, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't work, it
Yeah.
doesn't work, whatever, you know?
Yeah, but you're right, like, people get frustrated if they're
Mhm.
standing in line for ice cream.
When you
for
have kids, you
15
know,
minutes
looking
and-
for their
Yeah,
ice cream.
They
right.
have the biggest line when they have the food trucks here. Trombetta's has got the biggest line.
Oh, yeah.
So
There's
anyway,
only one.
I will work on that if people think
I
that
wonder if
it's,
there's a way to do it, like you said, with just,
I don't know if there's like Board of Health issues, we have to get, you know, CertPro certified or
Safe.
whatever it is.
Ice
If we
cream.
get
I'm not
certified,
sure if you're.
All these trucks have serve safe
Yeah.
certificates. So there have to be,
I think it's a good idea,
okay,
worth trying.
okay,
So that
I don't
means-
think I don't think it's a lot of effort.
No, it's not.
So, if you're targeting September,
Mhm.
then our meeting next month in August, we're gonna have date and some people lined up,
Okay,
right?
So were
I
you
think
thinking
I
more
can
about
work
the
with you on this
truck
idea.
or more about scooping yourselves?
no, not scooping yourself. I think
No.
that you don't want that.
That's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was that the decision to go the truck route?
I see what you're saying. I think, no, for us, as the committee.
Just
the
invite
scoop
some of
ice
your
cream.
Yeah,
friends.
Yeah,
Everyone just invites a couple of their friends and then, yeah, all right.
What, to help come serve?
Eat ice cream.
no, everyone.
Yeah,
no,
it's not
no,
gonna be
she's
self-serve,
saying
it's-
Put it out and invite
Yeah.
the town
Okay,
the
yeah.
town.
Yeah.
for free ice
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah.
But it's people like us that are serving them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We would also have to have people that are selling the book.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, that's the whole point of it.
Right,
And well,
I think
also to
that
launch
just-
every,
you know, maybe compare apples to apples. And get some ideas on costs from a food truck, but understand there's gonna be lines if you have 200 people that show up for free ice cream. Versus multiple stations.
I'm sure, I
How
don't
much are bricks these days?
Hmm?
How much are the bricks?
$300. They're, it's tax
Oh,
deductible.
I get that, but you know, people are easy to pass up $100 because that's a tank of gas in most places. But I understand it. It is what it is.
$30,000
It is what it
worth of these
is.
bricks, and we cannot change
No,
the
no,
bricks.
I get that.
Right.
I'm just,
It's like, it's pretty.
it's, yes, it's stuck there.
And I don't need to hear people say it's
Nope.
too expensive, okay?
I get it. I just had to refresh myself. Sorry and thank you.
So if you want, I can just verify with the Board of Health. Do we have to do anything specific?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, because I mean, that's the thing that.
Yeah.
We need to, I can find out, I don't know if like Restaurant Depot or something like that sells the big tubs of ice
Oh,
cream.
Yeah.
Your son would probably
We
know.
we would have, yeah, we would be able to figure out where to get them.
Mhm.
Just us, but
So
Or
that was an idea.
or have, Yeoman's and Twin Bed. How much would that cost?
well,
Two ice cream trucks. Go on.
Okay, we can find out.
We can price
We can
those
look
out
at
for you, because we already have the Yeoman's information, so it's easy enough for us to check what Trumpet is and do a comparison.
Isn't the other ice cream truck out of Hudson, the old school ice cream truck, something farms? When we were kids, they have everything, the bomb pops.
Juniper Farms.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
Or selling
just,
ice cream out of Sperry's. Down here on Middle Road, there's a.
so yeah, you got Yeoman's, Trumbetta's and the farm.
Yeah.
Beer and wine, there's a section of that store at Sperry's now that
it
sells
was
ice cream,
expanded it. Yeah.
so they might have a
He
way
does
to set up.
Richardson.
That's right.
Is that news to you, Andrew? Yeah. Ice cream.
And that's,
So, yeah, no,
Okay.
well, yeah, Michelle, let's try to figure something out.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's good, that's
okay.
good.
What if you did something like this Sunday? I mean, is that really too soon? You're talking
Sunday?
later? No, you're
Oh,
talking late in September or like
no, I think early September.
like this Sunday after
Because we
like
don't-
school starts on a Wednesday and maybe that Sunday kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. So the Sunday after school starts.
Isn't that a long weekend?
I don't know,
School starts in
Is that
late
Labor
August and then you
weekend?
got Labor Day weekend.
but we won't do it on Labor Day
No.
weekend.
That's
We'll
all.
do it.
That's early this year. It's like the first or second. of
Yeah.
September.
All set with the bricks for now?
So the only other thing I was gonna say is, so we introduced this bulk purchase program. And we've had a number of commitments from that, which is great.
That's,
In fact,
10 bricks?
yep, 10 or more. So I mean, Joyce, who is our tax write-off person, spearheaded getting the garden club. And I think they're now up to 12
That's great.
for the garden
That's
club,
awesome.
plus an additional $250 donation,
Great.
which I offered them just to have a separate group, because that's South Pro Gardeners. And we have the senior center put it, I did a group sales flyer with the order form on it, and it went out with the senior center newsletter in July. And they've agreed to collect those orders. I worked with Cam on this to, they're gonna collect the orders and keep it all together and hopefully give it to us. They're also gonna put up the flyer and have order forms at the office.
Oh, good. Nice.
And we've also sold at least another 10 bricks. I just haven't gotten the order forms back in from our friend Ginny Martins, who is giving them out as thank you gifts to long-term residents of Southborough whose homes she's sold.
Oh,
And are
nice.
moving away.
Great.
Right, so which is a great idea, so we need to now contact other realtors and some of these other groups that this is in motion and we're getting good feedback, but also to promote it to other organizations and businesses like that.
And they're
Clubs are.
prepping the recreation fall program newsletter, if that's.
Oh, I should
anything
talk
you're-
to him to see, because we could do a discount through, if people buy it through.
Yeah,
that.
so his
Sure.
deadline, I believe, is August 1st. But Christina McCarthy or Travis could give you information about that.
Okay, I'll email him
Okay.
tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, but we can do it and we just customize the flyer so that it already says like Southborough Gardeners on it or Southborough Senior Center or something. And that way we know that it's a group order.
It's great.
Now, the gardeners did also ask if they could have their bricks all kind of put together in an area, and I'm not quite sure on the logistics. I said we couldn't promise anything on that yet, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Great. That's great news.
Yeah, I mean, we've raised $30,000. And there's 2 sponsorships that we do have that were $10,000 each. So we do have money in the bank.
so why didn't you tell me that before I went through all this free parades?
You didn't ask. There is money in the
Transfer
bank.
that money.
With any of these small socials, like the possible ice cream social, can you do a 50-50 raffle, like in all of these things? It's a quick, easy thing. People will donate $20 for 10 tickets, like there's no tomorrow, and they get half of it. It's usually a quick sell. At any social event, like even when they have, the trucks here at St. Mark's, that's just, any of these small gatherings, there's another way to bring in donations.
What
50-50.
do the bricks cost us to make?
Not necessarily.
How about a raffle where you win a brick?
That's actually a great
That,
idea.
You know?
we could do a raffle. where
Actually,
you
that's
win a
a
brick.
great idea.
Ah,
Yeah, just.
Can we move on to fundraising?
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I mean, I like the idea of the raffle.
Yeah, 'cause-
raffle.
Anybody want to speak to fundraising, or we're gonna wait for, when I talked to Ginny, she said that, when she had something to report, she would, or at the request of the committee, she would submit a report on progress. What's our preference? Do we want a report every month, every 2 months? Or leave it up to her? I don't
So
want
I
to.
have been talking to Ginny a few times over the last few days regarding this stuff. And like what you were saying before, the current thing that she might have sent me earlier and I didn't have a chance to look at is creating this sponsorship package of what you're giving people in exchange for their commitment to sponsor at a certain level. And some of the things, I guess the questions that Ginny and I were talking about is, well, who approves those things? Who gives the okay? Is it the sponsorship committee? But then somebody is going to have to make sure that there's follow through, because if you're promising them that they get, a shout out at this particular event, or they get banners somewhere or something. I mean, somebody's going to have to follow through and make sure all of this, the promises happen. So there's still some things to figure out.
But how will this committee know? We have to be informed as to their progress.
Well, and that's kind of the way that what we were talking about on Friday was just those hiccups and how if she's not here, we don't have a liaison to the fundraising committee. So there is no real.
Do you think she'd be willing to sort of, you know, send even in an email, sort of a monthly status report or an
I mean,
informal
you know,
update, and it could be part of your packet?
I have a lot of questions and we didn't get those resolved. For example, you know, like I said, this sponsorship package that she's putting together, it's gonna cost money to produce that. So is the fundraising committee, are they just working separately and they spend the money that they want to spend? Or do they have to come back and talk to somebody here?
Yes.
Or do they just
Yes,
request money from the board, the 501c3?
yes.
I don't, I understand that. I mean, I understand what you're thinking and what I'm thinking, but I don't know that there's any strict. We don't have any of those structures in place. We don't have any paper trail of
Right.
money, how
We
money
should
is
put-
being
We should put
spent.
something in place so that this committee knows what they're doing. And, you know, not every 6 months. We need, you know, this thing's gonna start to snowball a
So
little
if I
bit.
could suggest,
Sure.
maybe what should happen is we should have, ask, Peppa to come to the next meeting to resolve some of these issues. She is the treasurer of 501c3.
Mhm.
And, I had talked to her early on about having a paper trail, like a purchase order kind of thing. That when there was money being authorized to spend or needed to be spent, so that there was some, like I said, paper trail tracking how much was being spent. She didn't see a need for it at that point, at that time, but I think maybe things are changing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
perhaps that would be a good idea,
Mhm.
is to have, yeah, so we can resolve some of these things. Because I know that the fundraising committee is intending to be spending money to raise the money.
Are they a committee or are they a working?
They are a committee under 501c3. So this is where it gets
Right,
tricky.
separate,
Right,
separate from this.
but,
Right.
it's my understanding at least that the taxpayers and townspeople consider this committee to be the ones that put on the celebration. Okay, so we should know what things are being put on for the celebration. We don't have to, I mean, if we decide that everything has to be approved by this committee, if that's what everybody wants, feels comfortable with, we'll do it that way. Or we'll do it another way, but we need to be informed.
Right, so I think at this moment, we don't have any specific rules or structures in place, but it's probably time that we should have that.
Mm.
And so that there is a delineation of, if somebody needs to spend money, this is how you go about doing that. And this is how we're
And
gonna.
where approvals
This
get
is
sought,
right,
so forth.
who's gonna approve that, and then who's gonna keep track of that? I mean, you know, we have Bloomerang, but that's just really right now tracking money coming in and being a communications tool for the newsletter and for outreach. So I think that, yes, we probably need to,
So that could be sort of a brainstorming session with Kathy if we invited her to your office.
right, well, and just kind of
Figuring
make
out
some decisions.
What's proper?
Right, make some decisions moving forward on how to handle these situations. Because, I mean, I think that fundraising is gonna be working quickly, hopefully soon and quickly to move forward, which means they're gonna need to be spending money.
And we should know what money is being brought in and what's being spent. So that the decisions by the committee, example, the parade. Oh, we have 50,000 in the bank.
Right.
So we start lining people up and we spend 30, you know, we commit
Right, but if somebody else
to
spends money,
30,000, yeah, or if it's, or
exactly,
any one of us thinks that money is available and it's not. So those decisions have to be worked out so that, no, yeah, we got 50 grand in it, but you can only use 10. You can only use 15. And then, okay.
Yeah. I-
So Kathy,
I thought,
Very good. Very good.
All right, so that was fundraising, and then the tricentennial letter. Newsletter.
So yes, I'm about to work on the next one. If anybody has anything to input or could actually contribute something to input, that would be great.
Mhm.
I'd also really appreciate it if people would respond when I ask for help proofing, because there was a really big whopping typo that went out in the last one.
What's your schedule, Patty, to release the
Well,
next?
so I spoke with Michelle, I don't know, when was that, a week or something ago?
Something like.
So we're gonna really kick into the oral history
Okay,
thing
Mm.
and like her effort to get people on board to do that and just kind of like punch up that and promote that.
Mhm.
And the group sales on the bricks.
Yeah.
Those are the only two things I have at the moment.
Right.
So
And who's that go to newsletter? What's
So
the
we
distribution?
started one of the first things that we did is I put together an Excel file of as many people as we could get, like organizations and people that responded to a survey that we did early on, people that were in charge of groups and organizations or, whatever in town. And since then, we've been adding to it. Michelle has gone to the transfer station a few times to sell bricks and get people to sign up for newsletters. We did the gardener sale at the community house. We did the whatever those couple of things in the fall that we were at. Yeah,
That's called.
the Halloween one.
Mhm.
And so we're getting people to sign up to join the email list,
Okay,
and that's who it's going out to.
okay.
I mean, but yes, we want to add to that list. There's a couple of hiccups that I see. And one is that we can't, you know how when you get an email and it's like, view this in your browser? So that then you can take that link and put it on social media and people can see your newsletter and all that stuff. We can't do that because we don't have a website. And we can't post HTML on the town website. So we have a hiccup with that. The other hiccup with not having a website is that we don't, like somebody can't sign up directly for the newsletter and be added to our contact form. So what has to happen is if somebody sends an email, like put me on the newsletter or something like that, then they have to be manually added by me to,
Do we want to have a website?
I think it would be a good idea. Most of the towns that we looked at that did big celebrations did have it. Yes. We have already registered a URL for it. That was one of the things that we must have got done right away. And I've talked to Jay a couple of times about like, just creating a simple WordPress site.
Yeah.
I would just like to find someone.
I think that's where it goes back to the social media skill set, with your committee vacancies. But finding someone with a social media background.
Social media
your
or-
committee vacancy.
Yeah.
Somewhere. So we can call that out in our department, our town administrator newsletter we're putting out on Friday. We can do another blurb and say, we really need someone with social media. For
Even if
example.
it's really, seriously, even if it's somebody just going to volunteer to handle that and doesn't necessarily want to be on
True,
the
it doesn't
full
have to
committee,
be,
but
yeah,
wants to kind of handle
yeah,
social media.
so we'll word
for
it
us.
that way too.
Or if somebody, I literally do not have the time to go to
Right,
a preview website at this moment. So, but I can certainly guide, help with it or something,
right.
But we need somebody with WordPress
okay,
experience.
so we'll do some specific outreach on that piece.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm assuming with the webpage, you're also doing a Facebook page?
Yeah, there's
Because
already Facebook and Instagram, but
Thank you.
again, it's Ginny and I are the two admins on that, and it's just an issue of having enough time to do it all.
So can I ask a question when you talk about all this? You got key through the survey. I think did you send us all the survey things? I was just thinking that I know that I have them. If I can go back and look through those surveys to see if there were other volunteers that maybe we could,
So you know what? I've already put that all into Boomerang
you did.
and you have access to
Okay,
Boomerang.
yes, I do.
And they're all in as groups of people that have either volunteered, if they volunteered for a specific that they're interested, like there was somebody that was interested, if you remember, in the time council.
Mhm.
So when Kate was talking about the time council, I was like, here's somebody to talk to. So they're already in there.
Okay.
And you can
Maybe
look
try
for,
to reach
there's
out.
volunteers and then there's specific groups of people that said they were interested in something specific.
Thank you.
All set on the newsletter? Other matters properly before the committee? Community event?
Oh, wait, can I have one more? So if you remember from the last newsletter, what was that thing at the bottom that we called the history thing?
Was it?
There was a little name, it was like a history trivia thing. If we could even, if one person could just do that, like, and it could alternate every month.
I have a
That-
list of trivia questions that we could start with.
Well,
You
what
do?
was it that actually, that's a really, we've talked about during
When-
trivia night.
When there was a zip trip here, we created trivia questions for
Mhm.
that a few years
I
ago.
remember.
I
That
just
was
need
a
to
long
find
time
where it
ago,
is.
wasn't Not a few years ago.
Yeah, maybe if we could,
But there's probably at least a dozen trivia questions on that list.
yeah, that would be great. So like the last one I did was, I don't remember, oh, it was the circular dam.
Oh,
And the history of it.
Yeah,
So just to like find a historic photo of something and just write a 2-paragraph little,
I think that's
thing.
the other thing. I keep talking to people that I run into day to day is, we really want photos and artifacts and things. John Kendall brought me a calendar from the 250th. So we scanned that and Katie in our office separated them all into separate files so we could just take one photo, and use it wherever you might want to. But continuing to find resources like that I'll scan anything anyone
Yeah.
brings us. And
so
give
it's
it right
just this
back to
little
them.
section, did you know? But Dawn, would you like to volunteer to do that for this month's newsletter?
I actually put those stones,
No, you're gonna pick a different topic of like some historic thing and find a photo. You can go on to the state archives or something, find the photo and
what's the time?
It's
time
just
frame
like-
that you need this by?
like mid next week.
See what I can do.
And then just like, look, it's, a couple hundred words about it. Just a little snippet of history. Thank you.
Move on to other things properly before the committee. Community event calendar.
So in your packet, I just included a couple of samples from some other communities where I was just looking for a format, something that, might be turned into obviously something to be posted on your website or listed in your newsletter, but might also be a great flyer, during these pop-up events. So that was just a sampling of a couple of different ideas.
And that was
I thought they
great
were
because
great.
I think it gave me a lot of ideas on things that you could
Other.
actually do,
Mhm.
So that was nice to put those in there. Thank you.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
So if you like any any of these formats, we can try and start making a sample flyer for you. If you want us to keep looking for other ideas, we're always looking at other municipal websites too.
Right now, I don't think we have enough events to really. I like the one that was from Zeeland, Michigan,
Yeah,
because it had sponsors on
I
it.
did too. Yeah, that's why I pulled that one.
Yeah, it might be a nice thing to put in the sponsor package. Your logo or corporate name will be on the website on the event calendar.
So, something that I blew away. Anything else on other matters properly before the committee? I'll think of it when I get out to the car.
I just wanted to ask the committee if there were any particular guest speakers you wanted me to contact to come to, you know, your August or September meeting,
You know,
particular groups you want to connect with that we haven't yet.
would it be helpful? Like, I was just thinking about some of these ones here, that people have run, some celebrations recently, maybe somebody who headed it up and come in and say, hey, here's some of the things that we thought of, some of the problems we had, things I would do differently. Would that be of interest to anybody if we could find somebody that ran this for another town, like for Shrewsbury, or I don't think we're gonna fly them in from Zealand, Michigan.
I have a contact in, Ludlow, are they the ones doing it?
Oh, they just did a big celebration not that
it's-
long ago, Ludlow.
Yeah, it was going on, I have the contact on that one, but I don't know whether she's gonna wanna, she can always zoom in.
Sure.
Even that, you know,
Yeah.
but just lessons learned from another town.
No,
would
that's a
be
good
helpful.
idea, yeah.
On fundraising and events, everybody knows about the big Marlboro car show once a year. That's a huge fundraising event. They charge $20 a car just to be there,
Yeah,
and they're just giving away stupid little trophies.
yeah,
And I mean, obviously, when you say you want to have a car show for 2027, again, that's a network. So if you don't have a car show in 2026, then you're not going to have much of a car show in 27. So if you want to have a car show in 27, you got to prepare and have one in 2026, because like all these musters and this and that, the car show these days is so many, and there's a bunch of people in town who have cars that don't do anything, and so you have to entice them to, number one, hey, we want to have a car show every year. Okay, and then you have a small car show, you can charge $20 a head, you pass out flyers in a baggie. You can use Carvana and any of the other car guys as a sponsor. But yeah, I pay $20 every time I go to a car show just to be in it with my beat up old car. And so the car show thing again is a network. You got to plan ahead to be in the 2-year position. Who's going to show up? So far, never has a car show. No big deal. I'm not going to miss anything.
yeah.
Okay, so you have to, make sure they're here, and again, have 1 or 2 food trucks for these people, because they're going to want to eat. So you're going to have X amount of guys who think they're going to be here 4+ hours for a car show. There better be a food truck for them and the guests. So it's not as simple. Let's have a car show and get people here. That's an event as well.
Mhm.
Where in town could you have a car show? I have no idea what that really involves. I mean, are they
All you need is
parking
they-
lots?
all you need is a big parking lot or a big field, because there's one in Ashland at some companies, or even at, let's say, Ken's, that big field. You park them all there. There's a food truck, and people will see it on Route 9 and maybe come in and spend money, and then you can sell bricks, sell 50/50 raffle tickets. It's just another way to get people to see what's going on. I don't know.
Marketing.
Marketing, yes. And then you can also publicize, again, at all these events, you have to publicize your 300th anniversary coming up, so that everybody knows whether they're from town or not from town.
What are those?
The lights are on.
There's,
Hmm?
I mean, is there any significance to those? I don't know.
To what? Oh, isn't that when they get a call
Yeah,
in
it's
there?
tied to their.
Oh.
Yeah, so that if they're in here in a meeting, they know there's a call,
Time
so
to
it doesn't
go.
ring an alarm.
All right, so we want to talk about the next meeting date?
Just update, somebody said, I think somebody said something about time capsule.
Yeah.
Is anybody working on that right now? Okay. I spoke with somebody this morning about time capsule, and that person had knowledge of a recently, created town council in Marlboro that was, placed in a park near the newly renovated, library there on West Main Street.
Mhm.
So that person was gonna get back to me on that.
And we do have one volunteer that's interested in helping on that.
Off from the volunteer list. And that, oh, you give it to me afterwards. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, I sent, that's what it was. I sent, Andrew, Michelle, Patty, and anybody else. An email, I forwarded an email that I got from the Claflin Hill Orchestra.
Mhm.
Did you guys see that at all in your emails? I sent it like this morning, I think. And it's an orchestra that it's been around for like 25 years, and they're doing a present an orchestra event tonight in Milford at their town common.
Are they the group that did the thing at Burnett?
Yes,
They were unbelievable. They were
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
yeah, you can get them for small number of people, like a 5 or
Another
6,
gala.
5 or 6, so you can get 15 or 20, or you can get 50, because they're all connected.
Mhm.
It's like if you get enough time, they can put together something. Got all just the head of the orchestra, so that they can, put on scores of musicians. As big an event as you want, or small. So I sent you guys that email, and you can go to that their website, Claflin Hill something in Milford. They're out of Milford, and I never heard of them until we went to that Christmas thing at the chapel at Deerfield. Okay. Anything else? Other matters properly before the committee? Otherwise, we'll pick a next meeting date.
One other thing. So I'm going to reconnect with Sean Bevins at Algonquin. And, now that school is we have to think about this. So I was hoping, because he wanted a list of specific numbers of volunteers. So I was hoping that we can think of that as a committee to have some numbers and what talent we need to recruit. So if everyone could think about how many people they need for their subcommittees. And I did reach out to Assabet, and I sent 3 emails and I never got any response. I sent it to 2 different people and I tried again, so I think
The
We'll
best
see.
thing I've ever done, because I just walk in. Because,
I don't think you can do that
oh
anymore.
yeah,
Not a school.
no, I do it all the time.
Elected rep.
You get the most response when you walk in. Trust me, I do it everywhere. Okay, I walk on military bases, I walk into schools, and all of a sudden they notice you. I was like, hey, you haven't been entering my email, so I'd like to speak to somebody. Who do I speak to? So unfortunately, you're right. People can blow you off real easy with a phone call, text message, emails, and I have to train my underlings, my younger people, say, pick up a phone, because I don't take anybody seriously until I start saying, hey. So yeah, pick up a phone and harass the crap out of them.
Well, you said.
So we have an elected rep to the Assabet School Committee, so I can connect you with that
Okay,
person.
thank you.
Yeah,
All right, so
Do
you're
you
talking
have
about
a-
the next meeting date?
Date in mind?
Keep us on track.
So we're doing the third, are we doing the third Thursday or the second, the third Thursday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Is the 20th.
August.
The third Wednesday of August is the 20th. That
As
works.
far as I know, it's good for me.
Yes, I have no idea.
That's, I mean, how does it go?
He's replaced Jenny now, as chair, vice chair.
Yeah.
I think.
So let's put that on
We're
the.
supposed to have elections every year, aren't we?
Yeah,
I think we've done that since the first year.
we haven't, that's a good
So we
reminder.
selected a date?
Checking with the boss.
Of the
You know what's
boss.
coming next.
How about if we just schedule it for the 20th, that's the one.
Just gonna see if this room is available.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Same thing.
You should just have it reextended for the next 2 years.
Have volunteers that might want to help with.
Right. So I'll go. Sent an email to. Actually, a guidance counselor.
What's the
I
verdict?
CC'd him just to be parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20th.
Okay, and this room's available.
Okay, so let's
Tell me
do
what you
that.
need. What talent you need.
All right.
Kids you need.
I move to be adjourned.
20?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, 5-0. We're adjourned.
All right.
All right, I'm excited to have ice cream.
There you go. Make sure it's a warm day.
So what do you think the logistics are of having, like,